Hey guys, and welcome to this review of the AMX 1357. This little beauty of a tank was on sale for 2 days on April the 1st and April the 2nd, I think, and I managed to get my hands on one. I was waiting for this tank for a long time because it's just a really nice tank. It's really strong, but it has some big downsides as well, which I'll get into this review. The thing is, it's the better crew trainer. The even 90 is a pretty okay light tank, but the gun handling and DPM are so atrocious that it's not really a good tank and it's not really a good crew trainer. Whereas this tank is really powerful. Couple that with the fact that light tank matchmake or light tanks on tier 7 are way better off than light tanks on tier 8, and you've got quite a good package actually. Just to go over my configuration for this tank, I've got a V-stab, obviously, coated optics and fans. This thing can obviously not mount a rammer because it's an autoloader. It's got 8 shots in the clip, they do 90 damage a piece, and it's got no HE ammo because it's not needed. I am running mine with food. And the reason for that was that I put my Batchat 12T crew in this, which was not really that skilled. I've pretty much upped the crew skills by 100% for a skill now, playing it. So now they're actually getting into the good territory. And this tank has got the first unique opportunity in my garage to have something mounted for bonds, because this, I mounted the experienced firefighter's skill for bonds. It's only 2 bonds because this thing burns a lot. Basically any shot that hits you in the back of the hull will set you on fire. It's so annoying, so incredibly annoying. And since I'm running food, I don't have fire extinguisher. I mean, I played this tank today for maybe 15 battles, and in 4 or 5 of those I burned to a crisp because it just catches fire all the time if you get hit in the rear. So if you run food, run this directive. It will just save you so many times. I've also started training Firefighting Crew on this crew member until it reaches 100%, then I'll swap it for safe stowage, just to be doubly safe, because it's really quite bad. This tank though, it's so nice. I'll show you my stats in it so far. I didn't manage to get an ace tanker, but that's because the requirements are completely idiotic. The win ratio is not actually that good. I'm not really that bothered. 43 battles, 58% win ratio, but an average XP of 1124, which is really quite high. Average damage is slightly higher than the T71 DA, so it's pretty okay. It's up there. I managed to get 3 first class badges today. Two of them I basically missed the ace tanker, because one because of RNG and the second one because of stupid teammates, and the third one just didn't do enough. I managed to get up to 59% gun marks already with this average XP and with this average damage. I mean, it's pretty hard now, and that's why this review will feature first class matches, because it's basically impossible to get the ace tanker at the moment. I mean, I had the maximum amount of base XP I had on this tank on a first class was 1592. And that was still a first class. I mean, that's more than enough for an ace tanker in any other tank. So yeah, it will be 3 first class badge matches in this review, which will give you a really good indication of this tank. Also, I've got 32 AP shells, 24 premium. You need the premiums for like tier 9s and some tier 8 heavy armor, but generally with the AP you can do quite a lot. 143 penetration is quite nice. And the gun itself, yeah, obviously, we probably heard it already. It's got a 1 second intra-clip reload. Aim time is really nice. Dispersion is good. Damage per minute on my configuration is almost 2000, so that's good enough. But yeah, let's take a look and compare it a little bit to other tier 7 lights and then go into the gameplay. So here we go. We'll compare it quickly to some other tier 7 light tanks. We've got the Type 62 premium light tank, T71 DA and all the other ones. As you can see, the DPM is lower than the Type 62, but slightly higher than the DA and higher than the rest. Penetration is lower than everyone else. The alpha damage is 90, which is a lot lower than everyone else. But then again, you've got 8 shots in the clip, so that makes up for it. 8 shots. Clip damage potential 720 is less than the T71 DA, more than the AMX 1357, 75 actually. Caliber is low. Shell velocity is really good. This is quite nice actually, because it makes long range shooting much easier, because the shells just reach the target much quicker. Ammo count 56, and this might seem like quite a bit. It is actually not. I've run out of ammo in this tank on at least 4 or 5 occasions in 40 matches. That says enough. I mean, it's not enough ammo. The ammo capacity on World of Tanks Blitz was buffed, and I feel that this tank on the PC version of World of Tanks should get more ammo as well. Gun handling, aim time is good. The gun handling itself is the best of the tier 7 lights. Not by much, little bit, but still the best. The gun handling after firing as well, not really that special. Elevation 12 degrees, you'll run out of elevation all the time as well. Gun depression only 6, but that's still sort of more than some, less than others. Forward speed 61, engine power 250, 17 power to weight, which is the lowest of all the tier 7 lights. The ground resistances make up for it a little bit, but not by much. It is a sluggish light tank in comparison. It is not bad. It is sluggish. It's I don't know. It's workable though. Hull armor 15 at the back, which is where you'll be set on fire all the time. Health okay actually. Engine health 160. You'll get your engine killed from the front quite a bit as well, so watch out for that. And the fire chance, it says 20%, but really playing it feels like 60%, especially if they shoot you in the ass. View range is good, sort of in the middle, in between all the other ones. Shell cost really low. So yeah, the good things, it's got a clip, it's got high DPM. The bad things, it catches fire and it's got a low ammo count. So those two sort of balance each other out in general gameplay. So yeah, let's take a look at the matches now, because this was enough stats for now. So here we go, the first match, and I must say the matchmaker has been rather generous with this one. This was actually the first match of the day as well. We're in a tier 7 max battle on Sand River, and we're one of the 5? No, yeah, 5 tier 7. So that's actually quite okay. So it's a 5-10 matchmaking, which is more fair on all the other players in this match as well. 3-5-7 would be rather heavy. And as you can see, I'm at view range cap, and that's because I'm running food. If I wasn't running food, I don't have the view range skills yet, so I wouldn't be at full view range. But that's also why I'm running food, because I hate not having max view range in my light tanks. We go up this hill, we spot the MT25, and he doesn't spot us actually, not even when coming over the hill there, which is really quite nice. I expected to be spotted here. I'm not. I expected to be spotted here. And I'm still not. So and I know he's one of the fastest tanks on his team, and I'm just banking on the fact that he hasn't got any backup. I'm just going in, and this is what this little light tank is good at. I missed 2 shots because the turret rotation is terribly slow, but we just keep wiggling. We almost take him out, and then our allies take him out. I catch 1 shot, unfortunately, by the MT25 himself, or 2, I can't exactly remember, but yeah, the turret rotation is a little bit slow on this tank, so we're reloaded. I know he won't spot me. I managed to track him on the ridge. I wiggle a bit with the gun, I double track him, and he's down, so reload again. So 631 damage, 455 spotting, so we just move up. I'm being careful not to suicide. I see this guy going to the other side, so I know I can aggressively move up on this side. And I need to spot stuff. So I poke up, I spot the KV2. I just aim at him, but I do not fire, because KV2 is quite heavily armored for this gun. So I just wait for my allies to shoot him, but unfortunately no one seems inclined to actually shoot the dude. So again, I spot the arty there. I try to get a shot on the arty, but he's behind the ridge. I'm not risking this. If I shoot, I will get spotted. I'm just spotting here. I'm not actually engaging. I am a top tier tank, but the pressure is not yet high enough for me to engage. But I see this SU-100. He's still aiming my way. I want to engage him because he's got no armor. I see him turning, so I know this is the moment. So I poke up. Gun depression just doesn't make it. Luckily, the enemy TD shoots under my tank. I empty my clip. I do take a shot from him. I knew I was going to take it, but that SU-100Y is quite a valuable kill in this matchmaking. He's got a gun that does quite a bit of damage. Enemy Yak Panzer IV is still in the base. I'm just poking up. I missed this shot. SU-100Y doesn't spot me because he's behind trees, and now we see this guy fire again. So now we just aim, and the aim time is actually quite nice. I make a mistake here and I shifted my aim, so quite a bit of shots actually bounce here. I should fire under the gun because that's currently the flattest bit of armor. I realize this, but unfortunately my clip is empty. I see that I've got one shot left, so I reload my premium ammo, because otherwise I would be reloading an entire clip for one shot. So now it's time to take care of these two heavies here. They are holding up our team, so they need to die. So it's just going in. The reload is really nice on this tank. It's only 15 seconds with my crew load out. Take care of this KV-85. The buildings just stop us because we've got so little engine power. The tank just slows down incredibly fast. If you run into anything, this tank will just start to stop because the engine power is way too low. I mean, the ground resistance make up for it in terms of mobility and getting around the map. But it's got sort of the same problem as the ELC even 90. Is as soon as you hit a building you just stand still, which is not really useful in most engagements. We pop up here, don't spot anything at the start, but now we see this Challenger. And this is one of the other issues with this tank. It actually fires faster than it aims, and this will cause you to miss a lot of shots in this tank. At range. At close range, that's all fine. You can just auto aim and rotate around people. But at long range, you actually need to aim longer. So at close range, you can just hold down your left mouse button until your clip's empty and then get out. But at long range, you actually need to aim a little bit for all the shots to hit. This is something to keep in mind. Take out this Cromwell, and now we go find the Challenger. We see the AMX 1357 of the enemy near our base. KV2 is still alive, but I'm not going for that one. I need to take care of this Challenger, then we can maybe get the KV2, who gets taken out. The Challenger is standing here. He unfortunately rolls 314, which is, I think his gun, doesn't he have a 240 alpha gun nowadays, or a 250? So that's quite a high AP roll, which is unfortunate. We're on 126 HP, so we can take one shot from the enemy 1357. I don't know it's his HP at the moment, but he gets spotted and is 171 HP. Two of my shots do 90 damage, or both of them do 90 damage, so that's 180. So I should be able to kill him in two shots, which happens most of the time. He pokes over the ridge, so that's one, that's two, and unfortunately a mercy roll because World of Tanks. So I can take one shot from him. So he misses one, I poke up, and just as my turret gets, or my gun gets on his turret, he manages to take me out, which was unfortunate. So this match, the ace tanker was actually denied to me by RNGesus, because that guy should have died. So yeah, let's take a look at the results. So there we go, the results of the first match. Unfortunately, we managed to get first class. The ace tanker is denied to us by RNGesus. We managed to get high caliber and a combined XP of 8,458. Now, this is with personal reserve, so don't be too happy for that. We managed to get a base XP of 1524, 2972 damage, 5 kills. The sixth one was denied. Enemy 1357 actually did quite well, and he was actually a thoroughly average player. So yeah, he played good for his stats. 51 shots fired, 54 hits, 34 penetrations only. We did 1461 spotting as well, quite a nice distance traveled, and as you can see here, quite a lot of mission completes and personal reserve bonuses, so that's why the XP is so high. Obviously at times 2 as well, but yeah, don't take this number too seriously. Earn for battle 95, reward for mission complete 10k as well. I am running food, so this is minus 20 as well. And because we had to shoot, we had to dip into a premium ammo because we ran out of standard ammo. This is quite a pricey match, but on average though, even with the premium ammo, I'm making a little bit of a profit in this tank each match, even if I shoot all my premium ammo, which is actually quite nice. So yeah, that was the first match. Let's take a look at the other two. Welcome to this second match here in the AMX 1357. We're here on Mountain Pass, new HD, fancy map, but the gameplay is still the same. You still need to take the important flanks, which are J2, and guard the middle. You can almost completely ignore the ice road, and you just need to put one TD on the middle road. So I sort of gave my team hints at where to deploy to get the maximum effect, and this AMX 30 asks who the F am I? So yeah, already one of these smart asses here. I take up this bush, which is really quite powerful for spotting if your tank fits in it, and if the enemy light doesn't poke up too much here, you can actually get some nice spots off. And I'm replying to the 30 now that I can, the one making sure you play well enough to win. And already we have a top tier tank going on the ice road, which is a complete waste of top tiers. And top tier tanks should never, ever, ever go on the ice road because you're out of the battle. Top tier, especially heavies, go J2-3. That's where you belong. So unfortunately our heavy doesn't go there. But we managed to carry our weight in this match and actually make up for the deficiency in tactical awareness. But at this point in time, I am just waiting for this enemy 1357 to be killed, because he currently is basically preventing me from doing anything. He gets hit by the Scorpion once for a quite low roll, actually 456, which is definitely low. And I noticed that 257 is on the ice road, so yeah. Enemy light tank gets taken out, and this is the cue for me to move up. The Scorpion was spotted, I wasn't, so I am now moving up to this rock. I'm hoping that the enemy WZ is not up there. He seems to be going down, which leaves me in quite a nice position to actually shoot the side of this Tiger P without getting spotted. So, as I said in the previous replay, you need to fully aim your shots at long range, because if you don't, they'll just potato everywhere. Now this enemy SP, once he scoots across, he doesn't spot me. I wait for him to disappear completely, and then I just continue firing at the Tiger P. So, miss one shot, and miss two shots. So that's a little bit unfortunate. I am reloading. I am seeing that my team is getting under pressure on the other side, so I'm just going to scoot across. I am... In my back of my mind, I am hoping this Tiger 1 on the left has gone and is no longer on that corner. A smart player wouldn't have gone, but luckily this Tiger turns out to be not a smart player. We spot the enemy RT, but we need to take out this Tiger, and I am going to catch a shot here, I know this. But taking out a tier 7 heavy entirely for 200 damage is a good trade. So now we're reloading, and I'm wondering if any of these enemies have noticed me being here. Turns out they haven't. I do spot the Borsig, which is also there, but even the Tiger is not aiming at me. I do see the Scorpion, which is low HP. Take him out first, and then we start fire at the Tiger. We set him on fire. And we have quite a nice clip. We do a lot of criticals to him, so all his modules are burning up. He's too cheap to pack a fire extinguisher, so he takes a lot of damage, which is nice for me. So now he's a one-shot. Of course, that potato's next to him. The Borsig is still there. He finally wakes up to the AMX 1357, shooting all his teammates. And of course, I wasn't fully aimed, so one shot misses. The other one is a critical, which is unfortunate. And I'm still wondering why no one of the enemy team is even bothering coming here. I am planning on going to the left here to shoot them in the ass. See if I can find a shot. Yes, there's a pattern. Unfortunately, we missed because I shot potatoes somewhere completely different. We managed to take a shot, unfortunate, 400 damage, which we really could have done without. I'm reloading. And I'm moving here, and then I see this UDES. He seems to be the first one to actually pay attention on the enemy team. He puts a shot into me for 244 damage, which is unfortunate, because that puts me in a one-shot range for everyone. I get the hell out. Our Scorpion is coming up, so I am trusting this Scorpion and the Rheinmetall behind me to actually take care of the stupid UDES that is charging me. I start putting fire into this guy here. And then I look at the minimap and I see this stupid unit still coming after me. And I'm really wondering what my team is doing. Like, seriously, this guy is just charging after me. The Borsig doesn't even pay attention. I try to get away, and of course the UDES on the move, didn't even aim, snaps a shot into me, and I get killed. So, and I lose my shit here a little bit, because this could have been an ace tanker. If I actually had moved up and shot that guy in the ass 1 or 2 times, this would have been an ace tanker. And I'm asking, why is a UDES allowed to chase me around? And I really wonder why this guy was allowed to chase me around. Why this stupid Borsig and this stupid Scorpion didn't shoot him. I got really upset here with this match, because this was another ace tanker that was denied, this time not by stupid RNG but by stupid teammates. So yeah, let's take a look at the results. So here we got the results of the second match. We managed to get a first class again due to the terrible teammates, All-X medal and the high caliber. I am looking at these results on Circon's what replay side, by the way, because this replay I wasn't allowed to actually upload to what replays, and I think because I said retards in the chat, which means that the entire file you cannot upload anymore. It said something about bad file, blah blah blah. So that's a little bit unfortunate, so that's why the results are on this website. 3,835 damage, which is really respectable. I mean, we did get a fire on the Tiger, which was almost another 1,000 damage. On top of the normal one, 1,595 base XP. Not enough for an ace tanker, unfortunate. 4 kills. We managed to do more damage than anyone in a tier 9 match, which is always quite nice. 48 shots fired, 41 hits, 36 pens. Yeah, we already saw the damage. Only 511 spotting. Again, massive bonus due to the all my personal reserves. Again, this should be minus 20k for the consumable. We had to again fire a bit of premium ammo, so we did still make 61k profit. That should without or with just the food be 41k. So still quite a nice profit with a premium account. So yeah, let's take a look at the last match of this review. Welcome to this last match in the AMX 1357, last match of this review. We're here on the classic light tank map, Malinovka, and I'm going to try and spot in the middle. I made my intentions clear to the team at the start. I said, look, I'm going to spot in the middle, please prevent enemy lights from rushing me and it will benefit you in the long run. And surprise, they actually listened and it benefited them in the long runs. Who would have thought? So we go to the middle, we aren't spotted, we do spot quite a lot of enemy tanks up on this ridge. Enemy T-71 is rather aggressive. I auto aim and I put 1 shot in, put 2 shots in, he's already a 1 shot, and now I move forward. I've got 4 shots in the clip. I will reload because I'm not intending on shooting anything. T-71 gets away, which is not an issue at all. I move up to this bush, spot 2 TDs. This T-21 is, I really don't know what he's doing. He's just standing in the open expecting to spot stuff. He fires as well, which is classic 101. Never do in light tanks when you're trying to spot his fire. And he just keeps standing there trying to fire. He is still spotted. He is attracting the fire. I'm not spotted, so yeah, that's fine. But I see this Type 64 trying to be smart. But that doesn't work when you've got a good competent player in the middle. You can try and push this aggressively, but you'll die. So enemy Type 64 taken out, and we're reloading again. I just realized this is a tier 8 match, so now so far we've seen a tier 7 match for this tank, a tier 9, and this is a tier 8 match. Obviously RT is trying to go for me. I can't really blame him because I'm the most dangerous, well, I'm not the most dangerous tank on my team. Well, I'm the most dangerous tank on my team. I'm not the best player, I think, because there's a Kazna guy in the RT who probably is slightly better than me, not by much. We just put some fire in. I know I won't be spotted here because otherwise my sixth sense would have already gone off. I'm just trying to shoot some guys in the side of the turret when they're poking over, trying to get some fire in. I can't penetrate this IS-6. I'm not really trying to penetrate him, just more to annoy him and keep him down. Doesn't look like I'm getting many shots here though, and I see our LTG pushing up. He's the tier 8 light tank. He's going rather aggressive, so I decide it's time for me to move up as well. So I go into this dip, which is keeping me safe from enemies, and I move up here. Spot the Hellcat, but unfortunately the front of my tank actually pokes through the bush here, I think, and I got spotted by the Hellcat, which is unfortunate because we're missing out on quite a bit of damage here again. But then again, our LTG is going in, Hellcat is distracted, I start firing at him. I get spotted, managed to get that one with the sliver of gun depression we had left. Enemy LTG is spotted in the middle, and if I don't get shot here, I probably will go for the LTGs later on. But this enemy, what is it, T21 or T20? I can't, T21 is here. I'm waiting for him to come forward so I can put some more fire in. Unfortunately, he instantly goes back, which is unfortunate. We fired one shot, so now we've got 7 shots remaining for this T43S. Bounce, bounce, pan, pan, goes nowhere, not fully aimed, bounce again. So yeah, 7 shots and most of them bounced. And that's this gun at long range. Aim your shots. I can't stress this enough, aim your shots. But anyway, our Samoa gets a little bit upset here because, I don't know why, he died. Enemy M12 is over there and the T71 is there, and here we've got nice map design, micro ridges everywhere. I tried to get a shot, but this guy is hull down, so I decided to just aim. Turn around, this guy is not spotting me. I see this medium shooting and poking up. Take him out, shoot the IS in the turret twice. These shots hit, he misses me, and I reload and also go in at the same time. I'm trying to use these bushes for cover. I know an IS hasn't got the best view range in the game, so I can be relatively aggressive and move up. So if I take care of this IS and if the enemy team isn't paying attention, I can have a lot of damage here. Enemy IS obviously is paying attention, he misses me. I only take one shot and then stop firing, and here, bounce again. And here I wait to get good shots on this guy. So he does a little bit of damage, so he hasn't got that much, that big a gun. So I reload here, and the reason for that is if I shoot this IS-6 once, he knows I'm here and he will turn around. Now he's got no clue, he's not even looking at the minimap. So I'm just casually reloading, going for the engine fire. I'm hoping to set him on fire. Of course we ricochet off the ass of an IS-6. Managed to take him out. Now we've got 5 shells left. We've got that Mauerbrecher who just fired. We've got everyone on the team trying to go in. The Samoa is saying that the team is shit, but maybe he's just shit. So now we've got this Mauerbrecher here, the nice flat side, premium ammo 1 and 2. So that takes him out. So that's the 3rd match done. So yeah, let's take a look at the results and then we'll go to my conclusion of this tank. Is it OP? Is it overperforming? Is it good or is it bad? So let's take a look. So there we go, last match, first class again. We managed to get an Orlix medal, high caliber and a Top Gun. This time we managed to get 7 kills, 1522 basic speed, 2823 damage, 7 kills as I said. More damage than anyone in this team or the enemy team, so not too shabby. 51 shots fired, 44 hits, 36 pens. We managed to do 1654 spotting as well, 2.2 kilometers traveled. Again, massive bonuses. 93 income reward for mission complete, a little bit, so again have to fire premium ammo, so plus 20k, that would still be a 15k profit, including the food. So yeah, not too shabby. So yeah, let's go to the conclusion for this review, and I do hope you did enjoy the battles. So here we come to the conclusion of this review. Is the AMX 1357 a good tank? Yes, it's a great tank. It's a great light tank. I'd go so far as to say that this is sort of what light tanks should be. They should be able to viably engage enemy tanks and win if they're driven by a superior player, which especially at tier 10 is not the case. You can be as good as you want, but you're not going to win from a medium tank at that tier, or even a heavy tank in a tier 10 light tank. You will lose because there's so much bullshit armor, there's so much potato gun handling going on. Your camo doesn't count for anything, your view range doesn't count for anything, and this light tank is the whole package. It's tier 7, so that's a tier where view range and camo still matter. That is where you can use your view range and your camo. Your gun is nice, you can viably engage enemy tanks, which is as it should be. Is it overperforming? Certainly. It is better than most tier 7 light tanks as a combined package, so I cannot deny it's overperforming. Is this a bad thing? Yes and no. It is bad as it's basically an overperforming tank, so that's always bad. It shouldn't be overperforming compared to its peers. Is it bad for randoms? Yes and no, because the numbers are, even with the 2-day sale, they're relatively low, and as soon as people don't really care about this tank anymore, it will largely vanish and it will become as rare as the GF version of this tank. At the moment it's a bit more numerous, but I mean, yes, it has its impacts on the battles, but it's tier 7, it's not tier 8, it's not a tank like the Defender, it's not being used in competitive game modes like Clan Wars, Skirmishes, Strongholds, all that kind of stuff, which is a massive difference. This tank you'll only ever see in randoms, because you cannot take it into any competitive modes. And we come to the big question, is it overpowered? And I say no, it isn't, because it has no armor, and that is a massive important thing in this game. Because any tank this light tank meets can easily damage it with AP ammo. This means that since anyone can damage you if they hit you, and that's not too hard to hit this tank, they will do damage, and that damage will stick the rest of the match and it will start to handicap your performance. If you look at this tank and then compare it to a thing like the Defender has got the armor to bounce shots. It will take far less damage, and it will also be artificially protected all match long. It will take less damage, so it's less handicapped when being played. And it shows up in competitive modes as well. And the Defender has a really good gun, and it has good mobility. Tanks like the Defender are overpowered because they've basically got all three of the Holy Trinity: gun, mobility and armor. This tank has got the gun, it's got the mobility, it's not the fastest light tank, it's got the mobility, it's got the camo, it has no armor. So as soon as you take damage, you're basically getting handicapped, and that's why it can never be overpowered. A tank that has no armor cannot be overpowered. It's overperforming for sure. You won't hear me deny that, but it's not overpowered. It's a good light tank. It's a blast to drive. For an experienced light tank driver, this tank will do magic. And it's the better crew trainer as well, because the even 90 just at the moment isn't what it should be. The even 90 either needs its DPM increased to 1800 base DPM from 1100 something, or its gun handling buffed, or both, because at the moment it's fun, the camo is fun, but as a package the even 90 is not a good light tank in the current game meta and the way you can play it on most maps. This, however, this is a good light tank, and it's definitely worth the money. Honestly, the cheapest package for this tank when it was on sale was £25, I think, £24, because they put some gold in it, and honestly, I think that was too cheap. It was not smart of Wargaming to sell this tank as such a cheap package. I think the minimum price for the package should have been £50 or something, just to control the numbers, especially in the beginning, a bit more. I don't think it's good to sell these kinds of tanks in a really cheap fashion, and I know that Wargaming does not complain that people get a lot of complaints that stuff is too cheap. But with this tank and also the Type 62, which I know they'll release at some point as well in the future, I really hope they're not making them too cheap, because in large numbers this tank will become a problem for the game, definitely. But at the moment it's manageable. I've played 43 battles or something, and I've seen one, most of the time I've seen one on the enemy team, sometimes none. It's not that common even with the sale, so it's still manageable, but it shouldn't go on sale too often, and it should definitely not be too cheap, because then it will become a problem. But it is a good light tank. It is really enjoyable to play, because your view range and your camo will actually, as you could see in the matches, will make sure you don't get spotted. The concealment is actually rather nice. View range with food, and now with 45% of this view range skill is 465, which is good as well. So was it worth, for me, was it worth the £25? Definitely. I was waiting for this tank for quite a long time, and I was actually really surprised that they sold this one instead of the Type 62, because this one is the more overperforming light tank for sure. So I was really surprised that they sold it, and not the ugly Wargaming League version as well. For that price, it's definitely worth the money. For £50, if that was the minimum price, I'd still buy it. It is worth it for me, but I can see it not being worth it for a lot of people, and that's maybe also a good thing. That's one thing Wargaming has to keep in mind. Is this tank? It's not overpowered. It has no armor. It catches fire way too easily, and the ammo capacity is low. So you'll run out of ammo quite a bit in this tank as well if you have to carry as much as I have to do when playing matches. It's overperforming, not overpowered. It's a really great light tank. It's definitely worth the cash. So I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, feel free to rate it, subscribe to the channel, and see you guys later.